All right,
Excellent.
guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. Jack, unfortunately, I think we all know where we're going to start off today's episode. Um, you know, just talk us through last night. It was a harsh ending. I think you don't want to lose like that on penalties, well, not on penalties at all, but 11-10 as well. Just talk us what you thought of United's performance last night.
Well, when I saw the team news, I was excited because it was quite attacking, but then I was still worried. For me, even though I don't like McTominay and Fred, they don't offer as much going forward. The play from back to front is very slow with them. However, I wanted both of them to start in this game just because it's a final. You want to make sure you're solid, and sometimes when Pogba plays there without a CDM, it can get overrun and just get passed through. But so I was a bit skeptical, but then obviously I was excited because Pogba played in the pivot. We both played Rashford and Greenwood. I would have dropped Rashford because Rashford hasn't had a good game since February. I would have put Pogba on the left, but it was a team. Can't complain. And then we started okay. I think they were the more nervy team. Wouldn't say we created anything really but McTominay had a shot that went wide. But we're getting on the ball. They were looking nervous. They were giving away the ball. And after like 10, 15 minutes, it was just like same old. No intensity. Passes were awful. And then it just goes back to how we concede our goals, set pieces. The poor Lindelof getting bullied again. It's like 3 seasons in a row. I don't know how our coaching staff hasn't seen this. We've had a few problems from set pieces in that game, to be fair, but again, they scored, and even before they scored, they were just going to sit back. You knew this. They're going to be defensively solid, and we're just going to counter. I mean, without their fast guy that was injured, they didn't really offer too much like pace wise. So when they were countering, they didn't do anything, in my opinion. To be honest, a few set pieces, but other than that one, thought we felt all right, but there was just no intensity. We were. I don't know what to say. It was a final. There was no fucking passion. There was no determination to win. And then to make it all up, we're getting to the 70th minute, 60, 70 minute. We're looking knackered, but he wants to stick with the same 11. Emery's made 5 subs, and this guy's just watching his team burn out, Luke Shaw has played fantastic all season. Didn't have a great game. Towards the end, you can see he couldn't run properly. He was so tired. Rashford, the same. Awful in a game, but still stayed on the whole 120 minutes. Then Greenwood, who I thought actually would play all right, came off. Pogba, who was our best player in the first half, alongside McTominay, I'd say, got taken off for Dan James.
That one was a bit mad, I can't lie.
Yeah. That's the one that made me laugh the most.
10th minute to make a sub. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I mean, I get our squad isn't good enough. However, there are still good players on the bench. We have 5 subs. You got Van der Beek who you can bring on. You know what? You can even bring on Matic, take off Rashford and put Pogba on the left. Just do something. Bring Van der Beek on. Ahmad. Even I wouldn't have minded Daniel James in the 70th minute. Then because I just wanted to see something different. It clearly wasn't working, and every time, just before the first half, we had 2 Rashford and Greenwood went past their fullbacks with ease. I was just like, you've got the pace. They're so slow. Just get at them. And we didn't do that. So that's why I wanted Dan James on just to get that pace. But no, when it got to the 110th minute, you're like, why make a sub now? It's not going to change anything. It's going to go penalties. And then, which is why I was when I knew it was going to go penalties, why I'm very surprised Pogba came off that late. I wouldn't mind, if you're taking Pogba off in the 70th minute because you're trying to do something. But in the 110th minute, I mean, he's got no in-game management. And I mean, yeah, like you said, penalties just unlucky. I mean, I didn't expect anything from the penalty shoot. I was just hoping they had missed because Dyer doesn't save penalties. It looks like he doesn't score them either, but doesn't save them at all. Hasn't before this shootout. I think it was like 26 previous penalties he's faced. Hasn't saved one. I mean, he did save one early on the season, but he got retaken, so it doesn't count. But he doesn't save penalties. You know, even if he dives the right way, he gets a hand to it. Not strong enough in his hands. Oh, it's just such a poor performance.
Yeah, it's a weird one because with pens, obviously a lot of teams practice penalties a lot more, especially before a final was on now because there was a chance of it. And I would say the first 5 of each team are actually good penalties, fair enough. But when the defenders step up, I think both keepers were quite poor in terms of not keeping them out. I think Guy said Poppadom hands. It just went right through him, and it was quite poor to be honest. And then De Gea's penalty wasn't much better. But do you think the game should be done before pens anyway? You can't. I don't think you can blame De Gea for missing penalty.
This is what I'm saying. Look, Darius should just wellied it, not offside foot. He's a keeper. Like, you don't have that much technical ability. That's why you're in goal. So just smack it like really did, and he put it to a corner. But there's no way if you say to someone, why do you lose again? You can't say De Gea. It shouldn't have gone that far. Look, they're well drilled, but they're 7th in the Liga, and the Liga hasn't been great this season either, and they're 7th. It's just the whole time under Ollie's for this, we can't break low blocks. Every time he comes up against a manager who sets it out defensively solid, 2 banks of 4 or 4 and a 5, he just can't do anything, and it showed again. We got a lucky goal, had a couple of deflection, and the keeper already dived, and it's an open goal. I mean, we didn't deserve anything from the game, but the referee was awful. Not in my opinion, he should have got a penalty. But that doesn't change the fact we were awful, and like you said, it shouldn't have gone that far. Which is why I wanted subs on in like the 60th or 70th minute to try and win it in 90 minutes. Okay, sometimes it doesn't happen, doesn't in 90 minutes. You can go and win it in the next half an hour. Don't take it, because penalties is luck. Penalties is luck. Well, of course, you've got skill to put it in the right place, but it's also luck. So even if you can't get it in 90 minutes, take it to the next 30 and try and win it there. But he didn't try and win it. He tried to go to penalties. It was just a piss take.
Yeah. I sort of understand what you're saying. You guys were favourites, obviously. They are 7th place in La Liga, but at the same time, they hadn't lost a game in the competition all season. And, in a one-off game, especially over the final, you probably would back Emery over any other manager to get tactically right. So, what's your thoughts on Ole right now? Should he stay?
It's so difficult because I don't want to go back on my word because I've always said if Ole doesn't win the Europa League, I want him to go. But just deep, who do we bring in?
Conte, bro.
That one
looks like Conte is going to go to Real Madrid.
Then
you've got Zidane, who you never know might even go to PSG because Pochettino going to Spurs. And then if that all happens, who do we get? Allegri's gone back to Juventus. Would we want Pirlo? No thanks. There's no one to get. So what's the point in sacking the manager just to get another half-assed manager to go in 2 seasons? Go, yeah, this ain't the one. We need to sack him. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the best squad. And in my opinion, we should have won a final. Player for player, we have a better player in every position, pretty much. We should have won. So it's really annoying because 3 seasons, no trophies, 5 semi-finals defeats, 1 final defeat. It's not good enough. However, it's honestly, I'm really split, man. Because I don't think it's good enough. I do want him to go, but who do we get?
Yeah, I mean,
who do we get? So
fair question.
I feel a bit like I was speaking to a United fan. He was like, "There's no point being Ollie in or Ollie out because he's going to be here anyway. He's not going to get sacked anyway. So what's the point in just trying to say Ollie in or Ollie out because it's not going to happen unless during next season we have a terrible season. But if we get a few of the signings, I mean, he could improve, but I don't know, man. It's so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah. Well, I'll come to you. I'll give Jack a bit of a break there. But, what you want under any manager, especially when, United, it hasn't been an easy time for them since Fergie left. So what you want to see is progress. obviously last year there's a lot of semi-final defeats. This year they've got to a final, it ended in defeating penalties, and they've finished second in the league. For you, is that enough progress from Ollie to to give him one more season at least?
Yeah and no. Simply because at the end of the day, they really should have won yesterday. I think Ollie's the reason they didn't win. Obviously, wait until the 110th minute to obviously, yeah, feel free to disagree on it, but obviously waiting that long to make a sub, and then obviously the sub he brought on, I believe, was Fred. Yeah, and then but obviously it's progress, but then, and obviously the thing is, like, if you keep Ollie, like, either way, and even if they get a new manager, it's not like that's like the board, they're not going to back the manager anyway. So like, either way, you're not going to see much progress. It's like Arsenal as well. Like, even if you sack Arteta, yeah, like the next manager you get, the board's not going to back him. So I think it is progress. I think he's done well with what he's been given, but at the end of the day, you are the manager of Manchester United, and when you're in like Europa League finals and that, you're kind of expected to win it.
So, I agree that it was mainly his fault, but some of the performances, man, like,
oh yeah,
he sets it, because the thing is, yeah, I was watching the game and the camera panned to him, and he was screaming at Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw wasn't going forward. So clearly he's set out a game plan, and some players weren't even following it. It seems like Luke Shaw was just staying back when he was told to push on, and in the next clip you've seen Luke Shaw in like a left wing position. So even though, yeah, I'm like, I was so pissed off that he took the 110th minute to make a sub, and that's been his downfall all season, all last season. Doesn't know how to in-game manage games. He's he's not very, actually I don't know the word, but he just doesn't react to anything. He just waits and waits and waits and waits. And I mean, but some like Rashford was awful, but then that's Ollie's fault for keeping him on. Again, Bruno was awful, but once it got to the 110th minute, you can't take him off because we go into penalties. You have to keep him on. But he was poor. I thought Pogba was good, but he gets taken off. Green was good, got taken off. So I understand. Yeah, it mostly is Ollie's fault, but some of those players' performances were awful.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, it's a bit of weird because when United won it at half time, you sort of think this is exactly what they want. It's what we've seen all season, and you guys come back and win. And especially after Cavani scored, you guys just pile on the pressure. It did seem like you were going to score. I was surprised when you didn't, because
I was expecting a second, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking that Pogba had a great headed opportunity. Rashford had a couple like half chances here and there, but it wasn't meant to be. I know. I feel like obviously having no sort of options to replace Ollie is a big thing as well. But I feel like I've criticized him a lot before. I agree, tactically in game he's a bit more reactive, not enough. Like, he's not proactive enough in that sort of sense.
Yeah, that's the word. That's what.
Yeah, but I feel like now he needs the board more a lot this season. Like, less for once, just give him the players he needs, and then let's see what happens. Because worst case scenario, say he wanted, let's say it seemed like he just wants Sancho. Like, I know he wanted Sancho. Sancho's price is a lot lower this year. I think it's 70, 80. Say United do get him over Chelsea, City, whoever else want him. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out Ole, but he still keeps Sancho, and it's still a win-win sort of thing. So I think you just gotta let him do what he, get what he needs, and then just go from there.
I don't for some reason, when I'm looking at all like the transfer news and that from credible sources that report Man United news, everything's on a centre back and a right winger. I don't see anything on a CDM. That's our most important position, and I don't see anything. I always see, Rice is admired, but nothing else. There's no we've got quite a few shortlists. It looks like we're going for a centre back and Sancho, but there's nothing on a right CDM, and that's our most important position. But surely that's got to be something to do with Solskjaer. I'm not saying I want a CDM. Surely the board aren't that crap that he goes, I want a CDM. Well, centre back and a right wing will do. So that must be Ollie's thing, that just thinks, no, we don't need CDM, but that's the most important position. I think if we don't get a CDM, especially a CDM that can run in midfield by himself, then he's gone next year.
Mm.
They're just Fred and McTominay aren't good enough, and like you said, his in-game management isn't going to help him, and we're going to lose games, not win games that we should be winning, like that one, and he's just going to go downhill, and he'll be gone if you don't get a CDM.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the manager's choice, depending on who they want to buy. But like I say, the board should also be watching Manchester United play and see, okay, I think we need to strengthen in that area. Obviously, your board a bit like ours. I don't know how many games the Glazers or whoever. I think Edward was there quite a lot, but
yeah, I don't think our board knew we were playing yesterday. To be honest,
yeah, it's a bit worrying, But I think I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my phone. I think apparently Chiellini's extending his Juve contract, so well done to him. But yeah, there's both positives and negatives, I think, at United at the moment, and it's a bit of a weird situation with fans because you just don't know how it's going to go with Oli right now. It could go really well the next year or two. At the same time, it could be over for him by December. But yeah, I mean, it's an alright final to watch. It's a bit weird seeing, Alberto Moreno, Coquelin, Capu, all these guys just somehow winning trophies, scoring penalties, But that's the Europa League for you, I guess. But Ty, how are you feeling for Saturday against Man City in the smaller European competition?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like, if you ask me after we just beat Madrid, I'd say confident. But then since then, it's just been up and down, really, isn't it? Obviously, we lost to Arsenal, then we lost to Leicester, then we beat Leicester, and then we were terrible against Villa. So I don't know. Obviously, in my opinion, like when you're going into a final, I think form just goes out the window anyway. Like, just because, that's more optimism than anything else. Not, obviously we can win, and we've beat them twice before this season, but it's Man City, so and it's Pep, and the way Pep's talking is kind of scaring me a bit, saying how confident he is in his team and everything. But obviously it depends who's fit, because obviously Mendy got injured against Aston Villa, but apparently he is in training. It just depends on whether he actually makes it for the game. Yeah, obviously I'm still a little bit confident, but I'm more nervous now than I was last month.
No, I think that's understandable. It wasn't the best ending to the league for you guys.
No.
And then when you see, I think it's fair to say you got a bit somehow Spurs with what team to help you out. I don't know how that's happening, but
how bad they were. I did not expect them to be Leicester.
Yeah, I mean,
and then especially I did not expect you to lose to Villa. I mean, but I just expect you to win just because you're so strong at the moment, and Spurs for all teams helps you.
Yeah, I guess they just really want the Conference League football, and fair enough to them. They'll do what they can, but it doesn't help as well when City do the usual 5-0 victory, and I feel like every time they have a big game, De Bruyne just scores a banger as well. It's not good. So I feel like you will probably be a bit more nervous as tomorrow and Saturday as well. To be fair, compared to what you are right now, we can't all be like the Lorraine and predict everything that you'll win everything, but. So I was good. I look, you wanted at least a penalty shot either one of the Europa League or Champions League finals, so I'm happy it's happened. But I wouldn't mind seeing another one.
It's actually a decent penalty shootout as well.
Yeah, there's some good penalties in there. Just at the end, the keeper probably should have saved at least one each, which is a bit, disappointing.
Yeah, I mean their keeper should have saved a couple more. I think Luke Shaw was lucky to get in, but
I think Bruno's a bit lucky as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that one as well.
Yeah. It's always little tears at the end of the game. Never mind.
I mean, it is what it is, I think. But, I think it was Jack, you mentioned a bit there. There's a lot of manager movement in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, So Zidane has left Madrid. That was confirmed. Madrid said that Allegri was the number one target to replace him. It seemed like Allegri was happy with that, but now he's gone to Juve because Pirlo's been sacked, even though he did what he needed to do in terms to keep his job. And then this morning I woke up a bit late and all I see is Poch linked to the Spurs job. I'm like, what's going on there? Because that just makes no sense to me at all. Because
Poch realised he couldn't hack it at a big club.
It just doesn't make sense to me because you just left a team where, what do you call it? Like, they weren't really backing you financially, and they're a bit of a bottling team, to a team where you got Mbappe, Neymar, the best French league players who want to sort of sign for you. Like Camavinga wants to go PSG. The board will back you whichever way you want to. I don't see why you'd go back to Spurs when their best player's leaving as well. So
maybe it might make him stay because he really liked Pochettino, didn't he?
No chance.
Yeah, but
Kane has to leave, man.
But Kane's not leaving this season. We won't go in for him. City won't go in for him, I don't think. And I don't know if you will. So where's he going to go?
No, we'll probably get Lukaku or something.
I was thinking, Lukaku's been linked to move away after Conte. Obviously, Conte is the other one who left. I think Inzaghi is going to Inter now. So
He's still lost money, bro.
Yeah, so Lukaku's on.
Mate, we're gonna sign Lukaku, yeah, and then we're literally just be paying like Man United or something. So
yeah, you'll be paying us.
Yeah.
Then
put that money towards Sancho.
Yeah, he's got Sancho to move. Haaland's probably going to get a move away as well. Well, not 100%, but it's a good chance.
I think the year after.
Maybe, yeah. I think because they've got Champions League now, he might stay for one more. But then, with Kane, just money is a big thing as well. Obviously, what clubs can afford him, but
this transfer window could be absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because obviously this week you said, Barca, Real, and Juve could potentially face a ban from the Champions League. If that happens, I can't see Ronaldo staying there. But if UEFA can't even give City a ban for financial fair play, I can't see them banning the three of the biggest teams from the actual competition as well. So
yeah, true. They'll just come together and be like, "Look, we'll give you this if you just let us be."
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Yeah. I think UEFA realize as well, if they don't have the likes of Messi and Ronaldo in the Champions League, they're losing a lot of TV money as well. So
yep.
That's what I'm expecting. But other big news this week was Southgate announced the 33-man squad, which will have to be cut down to 26 in about 4 or 5 days' time. What did you guys make of the team selection in general, but also, the likes of Ben Godfrey, Ben White, and Aaron Ramsdale being included?
It was. I didn't expect. I didn't expect it, to be honest. Ramsdale came out of the blue, but I don't know if you saw his tweet. He knows he ain't going to get picked. He was like, "Whatever happens, I'm just happy to be picked." I mean, so that's going to be one. Depending on Harry Maguire, I think both Ben White and Godfrey won't make it. But obviously we don't know what's happening with Harry Maguire. The midfield, I can maybe Ward-Prowse. Well, depending on if Phillips is fit, or because apparently there's something wrong with him. If he's fully fit, then maybe Ward-Prowse won't go. But he seems to like Ward-Prowse recently, so maybe he will go. But then Saka could drop out. And then from the forward line, I'm just trying to think if... Obviously, he's just making sure because he's got loads of English people and he had Europa League final.
Yeah.
He's got a Champions League final from you got Reece James, Mason Mount. They get injured, then they're going to be out the tournament. So he's just making sure. But then from the striker point of view, because Rashford came on hand, I'll say Ollie Watkins might drop out. And to be honest, maybe Mason Greenwood. But I do want him to go. I don't know, but it was interesting. I mean, happy Trent's there. Not happy that Wan Bissaka's not there, even though I expected it. But I don't know how he didn't include Wan Bissaka. And we spoke about it. I don't know how the media haven't talked about it. But I thought the whole squad was decent, to be fair.
Yeah, Tad, for a commentary, because I got a question to ask you. Jack, do you think it's a bit weird how Wan Bissaka's never been picked? It's not really talked about in the media a lot, Even though, we didn't expect it, it's not talked about. But then when Trent got dropped for a squad, it was all about Trent. And going up to this, this announcement, it's all about Trent. When Wan Bissaka probably is the best defensive right back in the league, not just English, but in general. So, do you think there's a reason for that? Do you think it's just, people just got used to Wan Bissaka not being there now?
Yeah, I guess so. I think because Trent had those 2 amazing seasons there, we got like 15 assists or whatever. Just because Wan Bissaka doesn't get those numbers, Trent's all of a sudden a new golden boy in English football, so the media love him. So when he was dropped, oh, that's bad. And then, look, I think Wan Bissaka's been one of, if not the second, in my opinion, the first or second best English right back in this league, and he hasn't been picked. I do like Reece James, but Kyle Walker still. I think he should go, but Kyle Walker still gives me a bit of, oh, can I trust him? But yeah. I do like Reece James, but I think Trent's got and Wan Bissaka had to go. I think he's been in good form. He's had a good season, defensively and attacking. You know, Trent get those numbers because their system, their fullbacks plays as midfielders, plays as wingers. That's why they get so many assists. So, but yeah, I'm not surprised because I didn't expect it, but it still is a bit. It's just a bit annoying because I think he should go, and I won't be surprised if he changes nationality.
Yeah, definitely. Carl, I'll come to you now. Obviously, Reece James, we discussed it last week. Reece James was definitely one of the controversial points in that. So you've got Trippier, Trent, Reece James, potentially Kyle Walker there.
Trippier, oh my God, bro. I get, I was just before you started, Thomas, but I get, because he said it like, you see full right. Because I don't know if you've seen it, like the press conference. He said, "Oh yeah, UCL got 4 right backs, but I see 4 footballers. Trent can play right back, left back, but we've got 2 left backs already. So why do you need Trippier to play left back? Then that means you only play right back. So you might as well bring Wan Bissaka. Oh, I don't get it, but sorry, Ty. Sorry.
No, I agree with you. Trippier, especially because he missed quite a bit of the season as well because of his ban, but it didn't make sense. But yeah. Like you said, that I was going to say, Southgate came out and did say Reece James can play right back, right centre back, in the back 3, and in the midfield. Do you think he will stay in the squad ahead of Trent and Trippier and probably Walker if he's considered as a right back? Because there's probably a good chance that one of them will be cut. There's 4 of them.
I think he should, but obviously Trippier must have Southgate's moods or something. But he should, and he can play centre. He can play. Obviously, he's only played centre back for us like 2 or 3 times, but obviously he's put in a good shift there. I think he should, but will he? I don't know, man. I hope so, but because if he doesn't, that whole argument last week just looks irrelevant. But I hope he should, but it's just Trippier, isn't it? I don't know what it is about.
He said Reece James played right wing back, right back of a 3, but Walker played that for the whole tournament in 2018. Surely he's got more experience with it. Reece James, I know he plays in. I know if he does play a back 4, I know Reece James is like comfortable in a back 3 formation, but
yeah,
he's only played 2 games as a centre back, only 2, and Walker played however many games we did at centre back. He's comfortable, he's confident, he knows how to play there. So if you've got 2 players the exact same, is there a point in that?
The thing is,
but I do think Trippier will stay, Walker will stay, and I think he really likes Reece James. But then Trent, I don't know.
Yeah, but what is it? What is this whole Trippier thing?
I know. I think he should.
I don't get it, man.
But Southgate loves him.
Southgate loves him, so he's going to stay.
He hasn't done well for Atletico this season. I'm being completely honest. Like, if you watch him, he's not all that. But at the same time, you said that Kyle Walker played there for 2018 tournament. That was like what, 7 games? Maybe he played there. He didn't play there before. Since then, he's played there a couple of games, so maybe like say 10, 15 games there. Reece James, fair enough, done it 2 or 3 times only, but I think I would be more comfortable if I saw Reece James ahead of Kyle Walker personally, because I haven't rated Walker this season, and considering they won the Prem, that's a bit worrying, because that's normally something we say about Zinchenko, and I don't think anyone here rates Zinchenko that highly. But
hasn't Cancelo played more than Walker, or has Cancelo played left back?
He's played more left back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
he played right back, but
he started to come in at right back a bit more, because I feel like Pep knew that Walker wasn't really. He's not really. He's quick. He's got a bit of strength, but defensively, I just.
That's all he got. He's just got pace.
He's just
I don't
pace.
think attacking wise he's that good either.
Exactly, he's not, to be honest. And I just think Reece James does offer more than Kyle Walker. But is he gonna choose, the youngster over the guy who was at their last tournament? Because if anything, he's proven that Trippier is still there when he shouldn't be. So
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. What about if Trent doesn't get picked?
if
I think
Trent
Trent will
doesn't
get
get
picked.
picked, then I think
But Southgate, you know
But-
why he's done? He's just being a pussy. That's why he's done this.
Surely he
provisional
can't
thing,
pick 4 right backs, or does he think one of them is kind of a centre back?
But does he have the
He's-
balls to drop Trent for the Euros?
No. That's why he's done
I
this
don't think he
provisional squad,
does.
so he buys himself more time. He's being a pussy.
So do you think he takes 4 right backs then?
I think he will personally.
Yeah, he's Walker as a centre back.
Because now we've got 26, he can maybe take another defender and he put that as a right back because we've got so many. But
if we assume Ramsdale, Godfrey, and Ben White are they've basically been called up to say you're in the squad, but you're not actually going to be picked just for experience sort of thing. Then you've got.
Unless you get injured.
I don't think Saka will go personally because even though he's carried us this season, he's versatile, but all the positions he's versatile in, there's always a better option than Saka. So that's the reason I don't think he'll go.
Yeah.
And I'm personally found that let him rest for the summer. Then I don't think Ollie Watkins will go, so that's 5 because I think Calvert-Lewin offers more than him. Then either Calvin
Greenwood
Phillips.
would go.
I think Greenwood. I personally, maybe it's just me wanting Greenwood to go because I rate him so much. But
I think Bellingham might not go.
See, that's what I'm worried
No,
about. For me, Bellingham starts.
I think Bellingham goes.
Starts.
You think he starts?
For me, he starts. This guy is so like he saw against Man City what he can do, like over both legs.
Yeah.
But who does he start over though?
Well, for me,
Then if Phillips is fit, what other midfielder doesn't go?
Ward-Prowse.
Is Henderson actually fit? Because
that's the thing as well. Is Henderson fit?
When was the last time
he's been like individual training and maybe like a couple group training. So he also said like this is because the England camp should be together by now, or in the next coming days they should go there. So obviously they'll have a look, and then is it next Tuesday?
Well, 1st of June, I think. So
5 days. So Tuesday.
Yeah.
They'll know if they're going to be fit, and I don't know. Yeah, maybe Henderson doesn't go then.
Yeah.
Maybe he's being picked to see, and once they get him there, they're going to be like, "Oh, we don't know how many games you're going to play, so you might as well take someone who we know is fit and can play all the time." So we might be thinking differently. We might think Ward-Prowse won't go, but even if Jordan Henderson's kind of fit, he might not go.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are a couple injury like Maguire, Henderson, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, like Maguire. Like I don't know, he's out the case now. I know Euros is what our first game is in. What we did 27th today.
Yeah, Maguire, man.
What, about 18 days?
Yeah, so tournament starts on the 11th. I think we're like one of the later groups though. So.
Yeah,
I think tomorrow should have been picked personally. If there's this big worry about Maguire not being fit, I think so. Because who are the centre backs going to be?
This is the worry though. I don't think. I think I saw a tweet about it. If you move away from the Prem, it feels like a risk getting caught up internationally for England.
Yes,
especially as a defender. Because obviously you can see midfielder and attacker Jadon Sancho, he's providing the goals and assists, he has to get picked. Jude Bellingham very good, but when you're playing a defender, it's so hard to get noticed. I think a couple of years ago, Chris Smalling was unlucky not to get not a couple like maybe last year or the year before. Maybe Chris Smalling was unlucky not to get a call up because I thought he was actually quite well. But again, he's playing in the Serie A, so maybe it's hard for defenders. So and looks like he's going there full time.
He might not be. They're trying to lower the price and Chelsea having it.
But so it might be a risk, but we'll have to see. But yeah, maybe he should have been picked. But has he done enough?
Ahead of some others, I think I would say yeah. And if you want pace, you've got that in Tomori. So it's just maybe again it's just the age aspect, but I feel like every tournament we just say, oh, he's too young, give him to the next tournament, but just give him the experience now.
It's going to be the right time.
Exactly. If you give him the experience now, then he will definitely be ready for the next tournament. That's the thing, just test him as well. So it's an interesting one, but by this time next week, we'll find out. Obviously, other squads have been announcing as well. Spain opted for a 24-man squad from Luis Enrique. It's a bit of a weird one, but the main thing was he left out Sergio Ramos. Just beyond me, he did include Laporte, which is interesting because I didn't see how I can include someone who just changed nationality for the Euros, but not include Sergio Ramos, who's won Euros twice with you already, and he's probably one of the best players you can have in world football.
I think I saw some of that. He said because Sergio Ramos hasn't had a good set game since like January and February. But I saw Eric Garcia from City has only played 11 games all season.
Exactly, bro. Pablo Mari's played more than Eric Garcia. If anything, he should be in the squad, but it just doesn't make sense. And just no Real Madrid players in general. You know, I think you got questions.
Maybe he's got an agenda against him because Eric Garcia is going to Barcelona, isn't he?
Exactly. And, you know, he's a former Barca manager. You got to look at it like, you know,
that's not Barca's payroll or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, there shouldn't be, but you never know. There might be because how can you not take Sergio Ramos?
Exactly, especially after the season Barca had as well over Real Madrid.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense to me personally, but that's that.
They'll get knocked out anyway.
Yeah, I think they will. But the worrying thing that I found out this week was whoever we finish in our group, we played Group F, people in that group, which is France, Germany, Portugal, and Hungary. So yeah, that's a bit of a yeah.
Hungary to come second and us come first. Oh, what a result that would have been.
Yeah, so after seeing that, I'm not too confident about our hopes anyway. But
I personally, France straight away maybe struggle, but I think Portugal are good players. But I think we can beat Portugal, and I think we can definitely beat Germany. So France, I think we'll top our group, and I think France will top their group. So in my opinion, if I'd be Portugal or Germany.
Yeah, see, so I did my like tournaments or predicted thing, and I put Portugal beating us because I don't think we have it against them. I don't think it's not even just Ronaldo. Ronaldo's been on it. If Jota is fit enough, I think he will be all over our defense. I think just amount of Premier League they have.
We can beat Portugal.
We can, but I just don't see it happening personally. Yeah.
But if you just get a man, just sit on Bruno Fernandes and he can't do fuck all.
Yeah, but that man's gonna.
And then you get Ronaldo,
like
you get Wan Bissaka in, you just fucking tell Wan Bissaka just keep slide tackling Ronaldo. He'll get pissed off. He won't be able to do anything. Jota, he'll be injured and he'll injure himself in the first minute. That's it, bro. I think we can beat them.
After this episode ends, I'm gonna call it FA.
Underrated. I get that, but Portugal, very underrated team, a very good team, but I think we can beat them. We might struggle, we might lose, but I think we can beat them.
Yeah, listen, I think our first game's Croatia or Czech Republic.
Yeah,
Croatia. Listen, if we beat them, then I'm gonna be like, okay, we can beat France if we want to right now. That's my mentality. That was me after Tunisia. I was like, we're gonna win the whole thing. So that's how it works for me. But right now I'm a bit skeptical.
We can't lose our first game.
Yeah, but I think it's all pretty much from this week. Obviously, big weekend for Thai. Hopefully, Man City get the job done. But let's see. Yeah, that's all from us. Have a nice.
Before I think it's time to talk. I think it's time we sit down and just say what's going on. I think we should say